One of the best things about living on planet Earth is that there is never a lack of new things to see. Places that are full of beauty, history, culture, wonder, and intrigue. Our Earth has been mapped and explored from corner to corner. We are fully aware of places that look amazing, like exotic beaches, huge canyons, or vast mountain ranges. We even know about some of the places that are best to avoid, from Chernobyl to North Korea. Either way you look at it, you have to admit that each place sparks a little bit of curiosity. But here at Underworld, you know that we don't always talk about the things that you are already aware of. For all of the cool parts of our world, there are still some amazing places that you may not have even heard of. From a pit that's been on fire for decades to a naturally occurring pink lake, here are 5 places on Earth that you probably didn't know existed. Located just off the southern coast of Western Australia lies the Recherche Archipelago. One island in this archipelago, Middle Island, is home to a very unique body of water called Lake Hillier. It is already quite different in the fact that it is a saline lake with a high concentration of salt and minerals in the water. However, it has one very unique and very noticeable feature that makes it stand out from other lakes. The water is bright pink. The pink color in the water is considered to be due to the presence of the organism Dinaliella salina. It's one of the few organisms that live in the lake because of the high concentration of salt. They are a red algae which have an effect on the salt in the lake, causing it to produce a red dye. So it is the water itself that's red and not the lake floor or anything. If a person were to fill a container with the water, it would still be red. Other microorganisms that live in the lake include red halophilic bacteria and Bacterioruberin. No fish or other wildlife call this place home. But despite the high salt content, which is comparable to the levels found in the Dead Sea, the lake is safe to swim in and will have no adverse effects on humans. But it is not recommended, nor is it allowed without permission from the Australian government. But even if you did want to take a dip in it, there are very few ways to even get to the lake. So the best way to visit the lake is to sit at home, open YouTube, and let us here at Underworld take you there. You're welcome. Everyone has had a thought at one time or another of sitting on a beach, soaking up the sun, and enjoying a nice pina colada. If you've had this thought, then Mahou Beach is the place for you. Located on the Dutch side of the Caribbean island of St. Martin, tourists come here from all over the world. So what is it doing on this list? Well, it's here because that tropical paradise feel that you get comes second to being blown away by aircraft. Sitting just a couple hundred feet away from the beach is a runway to the Princess Juliana International Airport. As beachgoers sunbathe, airplanes are making their final approaches and fly only a couple dozen feet over the heads of spectators as they're about to land. It makes for an even better experience, as the rumble of the engines are enough to really hit a person in the chest. But the biggest draw of the whole experience happens one day per week. It is on this day that a Boeing 747 would take off, sending the jet blast right at the beach. With its wheels right on the edge of the runway, the tail end of the plane was nearly long enough to hang over the fence separating the roadway from the airport property. Onlookers would typically stand right next to the fence and hold on for dear life as the jet went full throttle, blasting the beach with wind in excess of 100 miles per hour. Sadly, there have been injuries and even the death of a woman who was blown away from the fence and struck her head against the concrete. Additionally, it was an exceptionally dangerous approach for such a large plane. Therefore, the huge 747s stopped flying into the airport in October of 2016. Everyone has those times in life that you just need to get away from everyone. You dream about being able to go somewhere no one can reach you, bother you, or even hear you shout. Well, the residents of Tristan de Cunha have taken this to the farthest extreme. You see, this island is the most remote place on Earth. Located in the southern Atlantic Ocean, this is the ultimate place you want to go in order to get away from it all. The island is a British overseas territory that has about 250 permanent residents. It is located approximately 1,511 miles off the coast of Cape Town, South Africa. 1,343 miles from St. Helena, and 2,166 miles off the coast of the Falkland Islands. Surrounding Tristan de Cunha, other than the thousands of miles of ocean, are the smaller islands Gough Island and Nightingale Island, both of which are inaccessible and uninhabited. If you're looking to visit Tristan de Cunha, you'll need to be prepared for a very long journey. There are no airstrips on the island, so the only way you can reach it is by boat. The fastest way is to leave from Cape Town Harbor. If conditions are right, you can make the 1,511-mile journey in 6 days. Once you're there, be ready to stay for a while, as the Cape Town voyages only happen once per month. France is an incredibly unique country. When traveling through, it is hard not to take notice of the beautiful scenery, historic towns, and religious structures. The beauty extends all the way from Notre-Dame de Paris to the chateaux scattered about the countryside. But, situated 279 feet high on the top of a volcanic plug, you can find one of the oldest structures in the country, Saint Michel de Gui. Completed in the year 969 AD, it was built by Bishop Godescalc of Le Puy-en-Velay in order to celebrate his return from the pilgrimage of St. James in 951 AD. The chapel was also built as a symbolic gesture since it was built atop a prehistoric dolmen that was dedicated to the Roman god Mercury. It showed the dominion of the Christian faith at the time. If you're looking for a sightseeing adventure though, be ready. You'll have to climb up 268 steps that were carved into the rock. Once at the top, you'll be able to see the original chapel as well as the additions that were built in the 12th century, which include a narthex, a bell tower, a carved portal, and more. It is also the place where Isabelle Romay, the mother of Joan of Arc, came to pray in 1429. The country of Turkmenistan is already a country shrouded in mystery. Likened to the country of North Korea, Turkmenistan is a communist country that is ruled with an iron fist. Along with being one of the least visited countries in the world, it holds the world record for the highest concentration of white marble-clad buildings. In 2013, it was found that there were 543 marble buildings within an 8.5 square mile area. But, as you may or may not know about Turkmenistan, within its borders lies another mysterious place, the Darvaza gas crater. The country has the 4th largest natural gas reserve in the world. This area, in the middle of the Karakum Desert, was thought to be rich with oil when it was originally surveyed in 1971. So, engineers set up a drilling rig and started drilling the area. Soon after, it was discovered that there was a natural gas pocket. Eventually, the rig collapsed, leaving a huge crater in the ground. In an effort to burn off the rest of the methane gas as well as to prevent its spread, Soviet engineers set it on fire. It was originally expected to burn for maybe a few weeks. The fire still burns to this day, nearly 50 years later. Geologists have studied the area and do not know when the fire may die out. The world is full of crazy places, probably more than any of us could ever see in one lifetime. With some beautiful and others terrifying, it definitely gives us a better appreciation for the planet we call home. To see another video like this one, be sure to click the link on screen now. You won't want to miss it. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.